everybody. So as you may know, or not, it doesn't really matter, March is Women's History Month, and so for my video this week, I wanted to do a spotlight on really tough female characters in young adult books. Now, I think since Katniss Everdeen stormed into the arena with her bow and arrow and everything that happened after that, everyone's been trying to market their young adult books as having, the most kick-butt female heroine ever. And sometimes it works, but a lot of times it doesn't. I remember reading or trying to read one book where it was about an assassin who was supposed to be the most dangerous assassin in the entire kingdom, and she was in jail for everything that she had done. And in the book, she got out of prison and she didn't really do anything except fall in love with the cute guy, but of course that's what girls do. So that was really disappointing. It was like, if you're gonna tell me that there's a strong heroine, I want to see it. Don't tell me, show me. So I picked 3 books today that I think have extremely strong heroines. The first one is a little bit of an older book. It's not like old, but it's Codename Verity. This one was getting a lot of buzz when it came out a few years ago. I will tell you that it's not my favorite book, and I didn't adore it the way some people adored it, but it did touch me, and I got it, and I really admire the main female characters. So it is a bit of a slow starter. It's also got some descriptions of torture in it, but it's very realistic. It's the experience of 2 female RAF pilots during World War II, and one of them is captured by the Nazis and held prisoner in France, and the other one is trying to rescue her because they're best friends. And the one who's captured says that she's, giving up, and she's giving information to the Nazis, and so this is her report, and it's interspersed with accounts of what they've done to her and what they will continue to do. So this is, it's an amazingly told, it's a very different story, I think, from what you hear usually out of a World War II book. The characters are really amazing. I think the plotting could have been a little bit faster, but this is a really great example. The next one is In a Handful of Dust, which I think I featured in a few videos already, but this is a companion novel to Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy McGinnis. And in this book, Lynn, who is the protagonist of the first book, and Lucy, who was a little girl in the first book and has now grown up into being a teenager, decide that, well, because of various circumstances, they don't decide it. They have to leave the community that's the only home that they've ever known and try and find a place where there are water purification plants, and that's all the way in California. They're starting out in Ohio. So they make this cross-country trek, and I just love Lynn's character in here. She's so no-nonsense, but yet self-sacrificing for Lucy. She would do anything for Lucy, even though she talks super tough. So it's a really great, fast read. And the last one is Atlanta Burns by Chuck Wendig. And Wendig usually, generally writes for adults. This is his first, young adult crossover. Word of warning, there are some scenes of dogfighting in here, which I thought would initially turn me off, but it is actually really central to the plot, and it's handled really well. But I think Wendig writes some of my favorite female characters because they're really kick-butt, but they're also extremely flawed, and they know it. It's not like, oh, I'm, so strong and everything, and I don't know why people get mad at me, because, you're being a jerk. No, Atlanta knows that she is not a nice person, and that she does wrong things, taking Adderall so she doesn't sleep for a week. But in the end, she feels compelled by her own moral compass and sense of justice to right the wrongs in her town and make sure that her friends are safe. So it's just, I didn't know what to expect when I went into this, and I was just blown away by it. And he's supposed to be writing a follow-up, so get on that, Chuck Wendig. So those are my 3 picks for kick-butt female protagonists that maybe wouldn't be your first pick. It's not Katniss Everdeen or Triss or any of those people, but check one of those out from the library and see what you think.